Employees of Reddit, what are your horror stories? I was there for 4 years, so I'll have to think about this for a bit. First story that comes to mind was my first Halloween. Corporate sent out calendars that were only on the shelf for maybe 3 hours. Each month was a different serial killer. It had a picture, stats and sayings from each one. For instance, one month, June I believe, was Ed Gein. It had his kill count listed, and then basic bullet point facts about him. This was the first and only time I ever saw corporate Huddersfield destroy merchandise. To this day I wish I had kept a copy. This was my first job in my college town, and generally, I absolutely loved it. You're treated like some super cool mini celebrity by all the little mall rats. The management was generally great to their employees, and the work wasn't too hard in my small, low volume store. However, there was the issue of Valentine's Day. That year they were promoting all these different corsets and lingerie, as well as the Get in Our Pants campaign for the skinny jeans. Management wanted the employees to try and show the corsets not just as lingerie, but as fashion items, maybe paired with the skinny jeans. Increase sales and all. So there I am, Valentine's Day, in a black corset and tight black skinny jeans and boots. Way more sexy than 18-year-old me with a still developing body was comfortable with. In comes creepy McCreeper, a 50+ something dude who says he wants to buy something for his wife, but wants some help picking it out. Not once did his eyes look at my face. The entire time I'm helping him, he's staring at my ass or chest and making weird comments about how I remind him of his daughter, or being uncomfortably comfortable telling me explicit details about his wife's body. He then asks me to try it on and show him, so he could see how it would look on his wife. Luckily, shy 18-year-old me awkwardly laughed it off and got him past the register and out of the store. I loved that job, but Jesus, did it draw some widows. Worked there for 13 years. So much weird, but that's just retail in general. Caught a guy debating into women's shoes in the dressing room. People had X in there more often than you'd be comfortable with. I worked for them when Columbine happened. We carried a brand of clothing back then called Serial Killer, which featured pop culture pics, references and some edgy saying, like a pic of Bruce Lee that said revenge or something like that. The morning after Columbine happened, we got an email to pull all the Serial Killer clothing line off the sales floor, as well as every trench coat in the store. By the end of the day I'd already had to call security twice due to people showing up at the store and harassing me for supporting those psychos and training the next ones. Then the TV networks showed up and pretty much camped the front of our store, harassing every customer as they walked in out, asking them why this dark lifestyle attracted them. The mall ended up having security just hang out in front of our store and walking our employees to their cars for a week afterward. Honestly, it was the best job I ever had. The company was really supportive at the corporate level. I still have friends that work there. They pretty much left me alone so long as I made sales. So I had carte blanche to set up my stores the way I wanted, even if it didn't look like the planned merchandising setups they sent out. I had direct access with every department, so if I felt my stores couldn't sell something they sent us, they'd let me transfer it somewhere else, and vice versa. Get more best sellers in. Honestly, if it wasn't for the working every weekend and closing a lot stuff, I would have continued working there. This is my time to shine. I was helping a lady at the Disney section. She was pretty particular about the things she wanted and was asking if they looked okay enough for her. Being my first job, I was really enthusiastic about being a salesperson, and I really do love Disney. So I was hyping her up the best I could and we're laughing together, getting along really well. Then she says, "Yeah, I wanted to get all the same things my boyfriend's baby mama has. Is that weird?" Literally did not know how to respond. I said it wasn't and cashed her out quick. Not a horror story, but a ridiculous short one. I had a woman come in with her sleeping infant and screamed at me to turn off the music while she strolled around the store. I mean, if your baby is sleeping and you want them to continue, maybe don't come to browse the store that you can hear music blasting from the other side of the mall. IDK, what's to tell you, haha. Finally, one of these where I have an actual personal story. I worked at one for about a year. You would see a lot of cringy stuff just because of the base it attracts, but nothing terrible horrible usually, besides one time. I was working a Saturday afternoon shift. It was about 3:30 PM and the store wasn't busy at all. There were only two weeboo looking guys in their 20s in the store. Then, a group of 4 teens walked in giggling and looking suspicious. They go up to the Wii booth and start singing the 9 Cat song. 99999999999. Me and my co-worker are like, what the duck? One of the Wii booths gets aggressive and is like, step the duck back. Step the duck back. Ethan ducking grabs a chain wallet and starts swinging it at them. I call security and my co-worker is just screaming hey 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 trying to stop it. One of the kids calls the Weeboos fat asses as he's still trying to hit them with the wallet and responds to their insult by calling them daddy's cum stained chassis. By now 3 security guards come in and break it up while the silent Weeboo is saying the kids started it. Both parties are escorted out different exits while we give a report on what happened. Never saw any of them again. My sister worked at one for a little while. One day 2 grown men were fighting over a pop. It's like a collectible figure. Like a legit fight. She said it was like the comic book guy from The Simpsons fighting another comic book guy from The Simpsons. My sister called mall security and noped the hell out of their way. Neither one of them got the pop. My sister had to put all the stuff back that they knocked over. Former HT store manager here. At the height of the Twilight craze, and when I was still a sales associate, we had a midnight release party for the first movie's DVD. People legitimately camped out in the mall to be at this event. Generic Twilight fans, 12-16-year-old girls, their mothers, and the odd sprinkling of adults that were wildly out of place. Employees were encouraged to dress up in Twilight merch, but me being 17 and engrossed in the suburban punk rock lifestyle, I did not participate. My SN was not pleased about this, so she marked out of stock, an outfit for me. Girls size small. I heart boys who sparkle tee that rode up like a crop top. The tightest jeans I've ever worn. And to top it all off, she aggressively applied eyeliner, sparkly eyeshadow, and body glitter all over me. And before anyone asks or makes the whole process into something exy, she was in her mid-40s, overweight, and generally the most unpleasant person ever. It was humiliating. But the only saving grace is that I got so many phone numbers that night. I was drowning in high school girls who thought I was amazing. Nothing ever came from it though. I worked for Hot Topic for about 7 years. My store was apparently the Gigolo store of the district, and I think the state. Working for that company as long as I did, I was pretty used to ignoring people's crappy taste, but the juggalos were different. This is in Central Florida, so it's on average about 90 degrees most days and always humid as hell. These kids were always very overweight, wearing a massive black Ike tee. Those ridiculous 30-pound black trip pants with huge pockets and all their hardware, chains and straps hanging from them, and they were drenched in sweat. Their hygiene was almost always awful. They always seemed to show whenever a new Ike shirt or collectible would arrive, and would smell up the store and pay and wad it up. Sweat-soaked money. It was just all around unpleasant. The smell would linger for a bit after they left. It was not pleasant. Worked at a Hot Topic in a mall in CA. This was around the time My Little Pony took off and bronies were becoming a thing. Biggest, fattest dude I've ever seen in my life came in asking to see Fluttershy stuff. Smelled like Mountain Dew and shame and had a custom shirt with the pony in question spread eagle on it and what I could only describe as a missionary position with a very realistic gina spread. I immediately called security. My current boss was a former store manager at a Hot Topic and he told me that he caught one of his employees stealing a shirt he had stuffed into a Sonic cup. From then on out everyone had to check bags and beverages for merchandise. Didn't work there but I can bet your butt a Hot Topic employee cringed and laughed at me. When I was 10ish, I really loved to write. I was also going through that edgy phase. I think Avril Lavigne was getting big right around then. I was looking around the store, not really knowing what half the stuff was. They always had awesome bumper stickers, and I picked one up that said Inkaholic, because I like to write, you know, with ink. And I told the cashier as much when he asked me what the sticker meant. That was one of those things that I completely forgot about until several years later when it randomly popped in my head, and I realized how wrong I was. I hope he got a good laugh over me. A petite friend is currently a manager at one and her issue is always a customer that become too often repeat customer obsessed with her or another female employee. Currently it's a guy that swears they would have everything in common because he likes all the things in the store too, as if she curated it, and now has to stay 500 feet from the store. Maybe not so much horror, but just terribly annoying. Cringe. I was wearing a Hellblazer shirt that had a cover of the new 52 revamp on it. I had two neckbeards come up and start trying to gatekeep me on if I was really a fan of Hellblazer or John Constantine. It included the actual questions of, well, what's your favorite arc, who is your favorite writer artist? Halloween is coming up. It's the Halloween season after Suicide Squad came out, so we have both versions of the Joker's outfits, the other from The Dark Knight. Both versions were unreasonably expensive. In total for the Dark Knight costume, if I remember correctly, was about $200 altogether because you had to buy the coat, the undershirt, the pants, etc. The fabric of the costume was just a little bit better quality than the $50 version you get at any Halloween setup store. We had a guy come in about 30 minutes before we closed for the night and wanted to try on the Dark Knight version of the Joker's outfit. The costume was hanging up on the tallest rack, so it required me getting a pole and pulling down each one because the size he needed was a large and each component of the costume. He tried it on, enjoyed it, and wanted to buy it. I went ahead to go ring him up, and then when he saw the price of it he started flipping out. He started complaining that he could find this costume in anywhere else that he wanted at a cheaper price. He wanted to know if there's any coupons or if I could give him my employee discount. I told him there's no way I could do that. He starts flipping out and says he needs his costume tomorrow and he doesn't have that money now. He took me about 45 minutes after closing to finally leave. He did not buy the costume. Even before Suicide Squad came out, working Halloween around Hot Topic was always cringe with all the Joker and Harley Quinn people. Ducking like and subscribe.